Finally, we don't need to listen to Amber Cox speculate about her health. We don't need to listen to Stephanie White speculate about her health. Straight from the horse's mouth herself, Caitlin Clark reveals she is 100% healthy, good to go, ready to go, back in action.
Caitlin Clark did not just play in a friendly pro-am. She walked into an LPGA event, and in one afternoon, she destroyed the golf world and turned a simple invite into a full-on takeover.
Well, we know it seems like whatever Caitlin Clark puts her mind to do, she can accomplish about anything, at least when it comes to two things, golfing and basketball. I mean, she's a natural athlete, let's be honest. And today was the Annika Pro-Am, and there's a lot of content that's come out of that.
Picture this: Pelican Golf Club, the Annika Pro-Am. The sun is out, the fairways are perfect, and the first tee is wrapped with fans like it is Sunday at a major. But they are not chanting for an LPGA legend. They are screaming for Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever. She is in a full Nike outfit, fresh hat, proper shoes, her own bag, her own clubs. No rental set, no casual hoodie, no, oh, I will just hack it around for fun.
So Caitlin Clark is back golfing. She is back golfing for the first time in I don't know how long. But she's golfing. She's yeah, that's a positive thing. It's the Annika tournament which she played in last year. But this year is a little bit different. So let's take a look at all the clips from this so far. Jesus, it's pretty packed with her just on the practice range. Better swing than mine anyway.
From the moment she steps onto that tee, she looks like she belongs in this world. And here is the crazy part. Everyone online thinks this story is just about one viral putt. That huge breaker on 18 that blew up on social media.
Wednesday Pro-Am, here is Caitlin at the 10th.
Yeah. Looks like she was able to put into work a little bit of what Jamie was telling her release that.
We got Caitlin Clark walking down to the 18th hole. Wind blowing 14 miles an hour out of the northeast. A beautiful sunny day.
But that putt is only the surface. What really happened that day opened a brand new lane for Caitlin, and it should terrify the WNBA. Because while the golf world is rolling out the red carpet and treating her like Tiger Woods, her own league is still arguing about how much attention she is allowed to have. Let's start with the golf itself. The cameras cut to Caitlin on the 10th. The commentators are watching her swing, and they are not laughing, they are impressed. One of them says, "This is not a basketball player messing around on a golf course. This is someone who has been putting in real work." Her swing is smooth, balanced, and controlled. She releases the club properly, holds her finish, and walks after the ball like she has done this for years. By the time she reaches 18, the wind is howling, about 14 miles an hour in her face. Most celebrity guests would just be happy to get the ball somewhere on the green. Caitlin steps up, lines up a long sliding putt, and drains it with thousands of people watching.
I mean, this putt is unbelievable. Look at this freaking putt. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Caitlin Clark's got real talent, folks.
The crowd erupts. The booth loses it. This is not a sympathy cheer. This is a real golf moment. Right away, she destroys the lazy idea that she is just a hooper having fun. She looks like a legit golfer who just happens to be one of the best basketball players on the planet. But if Caitlin is the calm in this story, Sophie Cunningham is the chaos. Sophie and Lexi Hull are out there with her, rocking fever gear, acting as caddies and hype squad. Sophie grabs a club on the tee and goes full Happy Gilmore with a running start. She takes a wild swing, the ball flies, and a spectator goes down. Then 2 or 3 other guys drop to the grass too, all of them playing it up, just trying to get a moment, maybe even a hug from Sophie.
Guys, this is bad.
I haven't hit a golf club in months.
You got me. I would back up, and I'm not kidding. I killed this girl the last time I did this. Oh my god, this is so bad.
You got this.
This is taking me nervous. Sorry. Yeah, guys, come on! Let's go! Oh, is that bad? Shit! Come on, guys! Is that bad?
Nope.
Oh no! Oh no! You got it, girl. Happy Gilmore.
You didn't hit him. He just wants a hug. He did get hit. He didn't even get hit.
The internet goes crazy. People argue in the comments about whether he was really hit or just selling it. Clips of Sophie's swing and the injured fan are everywhere. It is hilarious, it is chaotic, and it proves something important. Sophie is great content. She is pure personality and drama. But Caitlyn is something different. She is not viral because she is loud. She is viral because she is dangerous in any arena you put her in. And that is where Bryson DeChambeau enters the story. After that putt, after the coverage, after the crowd reaction, Bryson starts talking about Caitlyn. He does not just say she is a good golfer, he wants her in his world. He invites her to play in his internet invitational in 2026. Now at first, that might sound like just another fun side event with some YouTubers and a trophy. It is not. Bryson's invitational is a content machine. It pulls ridiculous numbers. On his channel, you see 2.1 million views in 2 days, 2.8 million views 6 days ago, 3.3 million, 4.4 million, 5.9 million over about 2 weeks. That is roughly 16 million views in half a month on one series, before you even count shorts or reposts. Those are not WNBA highlight numbers. Those are global creator numbers. So when Bryson says, "I want Caitlyn Clark in this field," he is not offering her a cute cameo. He is offering her a direct line into one of the biggest golf audiences on the planet, an event with more than $1 million on the line, and a place beside some of the most watched personalities in the sport. Think about the contrast for a second. In the WNBA, Caitlyn gets hacked, shoved, baited, and targeted night after night. Every game turns into a debate about whether she is overhyped, whether she deserves the calls, whether the league is doing too much or not enough. In golf, she walks onto the tee and they treat her like a main event. The cameras follow her. The commentators break down her swing. The crowd chants her name. And instead of trying to knock her down, the biggest names in the space are trying to pull her in. This is why people are starting to use the phrase Tiger Woods treatment when they talk about her in golf. The stage is smaller for now, but the pattern is the same. When she shows up, the energy changes. Now imagine you are Caitlyn. On one side, you have the WNBA. It is the league you fought to reach, the league you are trying to help grow. But it is also a league that has been slow to fully embrace you, where your body takes a beating and your peak might only last until your early 30s. On the other side, you have golf and creator events, low contact, high money, huge exposure, and a career runway that can go into your 40s and beyond. Plus, it is something you clearly enjoy and take seriously. You can see why this Annika appearance is bigger than a highlight reel. On paper, it was a Wednesday Pro-Am. In reality, Caitlyn Clark walked into an LPGA event and everything shifted around her. The gallery treated her like a superstar. Her teammates turned the fairway into a traveling fever show. She holed a huge putt on live coverage and proved she has real game. Bryson DeChambeau responded by opening the door to a 16 million view ecosystem and a 7-figure event. That is what a takeover looks like. She did not have to trash talk anyone. She did not have to beg for attention. She just showed up, played well, and let the numbers speak for her. So what does this mean for 2026 and beyond? No, Caitlin is not leaving basketball tomorrow. She is too competitive, too invested, and she still has so much to do with the Fever. But she is also smart. She understands leverage. By building a real presence in golf, she gives herself options. More income, more security, more control over her long-term health and brand. And here is the awkward truth for the WNBA. The more other sports and creators open their doors to Caitlin Clark, the less power the league has to treat her like just another player. At the Annika, Caitlin proved something the whole sports world needs to hear. She is not just changing women's basketball. She can step into a completely different sport and own the moment in a single day. So I want to know what you think. Should Caitlin accept Bryson's invite and play more high-profile golf events? Or should she keep golf as a side project and focus only on the WNBA? If you are still watching, drop Caitlin Takes Golf in the comments so I know you made it to the end.
There she is, the woman of the hour, Caitlin Clark, arriving to Pelican Golf Club outside Tampa earlier this morning to compete in the Annika driven by Gamebridge Pro-Am for the second straight year. There you see Caitlin's Indiana Fever teammates, Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull in caddy bibs, serving as honorary caddies out there.
They said the hype was over, that the injuries, the pressure, the non-stop spotlight had finally caught up with Caitlin Clark. For months, her name lived more in debate shows and comment sections than on any court. But on a quiet Florida morning, far from any WNBA arena, Caitlin walked onto the first tee at the Annika Pro-Am and gave every single doubter something they did not expect. This was supposed to be a casual hit-out. Smile for a few photos, hit a few safe shots, wave to the crowd, go home. Instead, it became her first real test since her WNBA season ended in July. No trainer's table, no minutes restriction, just a tee box, LPGA legends, and thousands of fans leaning over the ropes to see if the superstar still had it. You have to understand why this round mattered. Caitlin hadn't played in a true competitive setting for months. Groin and ankle issues shut her down. People questioned her durability, her focus, even whether the Caitlin Clark era had already peaked. Others complained that she was doing too much off the court, chasing appearances instead of locking in on her game. And yet here she was, invited back to one of the premier weeks in women's golf. The Annika, driven by Gamebridge at Pelican Golf Club. A serious LPGA stop, hosted by Annika Sorenstam herself. And now, a WNBA rookie, stepping into that world with every camera pointed straight at her. Her pairing said everything. Caitlin wasn't hidden in a quiet group on the back nine. She was with Nelly Korda, world number 2 and defending champion. Annika hosting, Golf Channel covering every swing, and right beside her, Indiana Fever teammates Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull in caddy bibs, turning a Pro-Am tee sheet into a mini WNBA reunion on grass. When she stepped up to that first tee, it was early, but it didn't feel sleepy at all. The gallery was packed with kids in Fever jerseys and Iowa shirts. Phones up, cameras rolling. This didn't look like a relaxed Wednesday. It looked like a mini major built around one player. Everyone wanted to know what that first swing would look like. Rusty, tight, nervous. Caitlin took the club back, turned through, and sent a solid drive into the fairway. On her very first hole, she hit the green in regulation. No fluke, no bailout. Just a smooth, controlled shot that said, the athlete is still very real. But it wasn't perfect, and that's the point. She left a long putt short, and you could see that competitive flash. This wasn't a happy to be here cameo. She was annoyed at the miss, even in a Pro-Am. The touch needed to come back. But the fire? That never left. As the round went on, the cameras caught something even more important. Caitlin wasn't just swinging away and laughing it off. She was learning on the fly. After a few tee shots leaked right, Nelly Korda's coach, Jamie Mulligan, stepped in with a bit of swing advice. Caitlin listened, talked about swinging too fast, trying to smash the ball, needing to slow down and trust the motion. On the very next tee, she hit her best drive of the day. Balanced, smooth, right out of the center. That tiny sequence said everything. Different sport, same elite wiring. She can absorb coaching in seconds, make an adjustment, and execute under pressure. Golf Channel even mentioned this was the first time since July she'd really felt that rush again. The focus, the adrenaline, the sense that people weren't just watching her, they were expecting something from her. On a golf course, with borrowed clubs, she still wore that same game face. But every big story needs one signature moment, and that moment came on the 10th hole. By then, Caitlin had stitched together plenty of solid golf. Fairways, greens, better pace on the putts. Respectable, steady, safe. But you don't become Caitlin Clark by being safe. She needed something that felt like a true highlight. Standing off the green on 10, she looked at a long putt and joked she needed to drop one so the crowd could go crazy. Call it confidence, call it pressure. Either way, she stepped over the ball, rolled it perfectly, and buried it. Center of the cup. The gallery exploded. It wasn't polite applause. It was a roar. Kids screaming, adults cheering, broadcasters laughing at how on-brand it was for Caitlin Clark to basically call her shot in a different sport and then hit it. In that second, the putt became the golf version of a logo 3. Same calm follow-through. Same easy walk to pick up the ball. Same look that said, yeah, I knew that was going in. Around her, the day kept feeding the camera's moments. Sophie Cunningham stepped up on a tee, swung hard, and accidentally drilled a fan in the gallery. Total chaos for a heartbeat. She rushed over, checked they were okay, signed a ball, hugged them, and turned a scare into a story they'll tell forever. Lexi Hull followed with a better drive, drawing cheers and smiles. These little scenes showed something deeper. They showed the chemistry of the fever outside of hardwood. They showed how much joy and personality Caitlin drags into every environment. This wasn't just a pro-am group. It felt like a traveling show built around her presence. And people inside golf noticed. Nelly Corda said that first tee scene felt like something out of a book. She talked about how crazy it was to see that many people out for a midweek pro-am just because Caitlin Clark was there. Annika Sorenstam spoke about how valuable it is to have an athlete like Caitlin bring her audience into women's golf, and how much that crossover can grow the game. That's the part the doubters never quite understood. They said she was a distraction. They complained about commercials, appearances, golf events. They wanted her to pick one lane and stay in it. But this is the lane. Caitlin isn't just a point guard. She is a force that amplifies whatever game she walks into. While critics questioned her focus, she was out here doing 3 things at once. Showing she's healthy enough to compete again. Respecting another sport by playing at a solid level after months away from golf. And using her platform to shine a bigger light on women's sports. After the round, Caitlin talked about feeling 100% healthy. No excuses, no still working back. Just excitement to compete again. On grass now, and soon on hardwood. With international duties and another WNBA season ahead, the message was simple. Her body is back, and so is her edge. That's why this little round wasn't little at all. It wasn't just about scorecards, formats, or pro-am prizes. It was about reminding everyone that even when she steps away, the magnetism doesn't fade. She can disappear from the court, show up at a golf event, and instantly turn it into must-see TV. If this is Caitlin Clark when she's supposedly rusty, imagine her back in a packed arena with a ball in her hands and a full season in front of her. The doubters aren't just wrong, they're late. From a nervous opening swing on a crowded first tee to a called shot bomb on the 10th that sent the crowd into a frenzy, Caitlin Clark turned a quiet Wednesday pro-am into another chapter in her comeback story. The sport was different, the stakes were softer, but the message was loud. If you're still watching, drop Annika comeback in the comments so we know you're riding with Caitlin all the way back.
Coming back with another video, and it looked like Caitlin Clark has broken the damn internet yes again. We have several things to talk about in this one. we have to talk about. The Indiana Fever sending a cryptic message to the
about
fans.
While the
Release this video.
WNBA struggles to protect its biggest star, the LPGA just rolled out the red carpet. Cameras flashing, fans cheering, sponsors lining up, and all for a basketball player. Caitlin Clark didn't even need to say a word. Her golf swing just exposed exactly how superstars should be treated. But how did a league she doesn't even play for do what the WNBA couldn't? Let's break down how the LPGA turned Caitlin Clark into their biggest headline, and what that says about women's sports right now. When Caitlin Clark returned to the Annika, driven by Gainbridge Pro-Am at Pelican Golf Club in Florida, no one expected what came next. What was supposed to be a friendly off-season appearance turned into a global spectacle. Ticket sales didn't just rise, they multiplied 12 times over. 34 million social media impressions in a single week. Golf fans, basketball fans, even casual sports watchers. Everyone wanted to see Caitlin Clark swing a club. Pelican Golf Club's chief operating officer said it best. This is one of the most talked about women's golf tournaments ever. The numbers are staggering. Last year's tournament already proved Caitlin's magnetism. This year, it's pure madness. Crowds in Iowa and Fever jerseys line the fairways, chanting her name as if it were a Final Four game. And she's not even a professional golfer. The LPGA knew exactly what they were doing. They paired her with golf royalty, world #1 Nelly Korda and 10-time major champion Annika Sorenstam. The goal wasn't just to fill seats, it was to make a statement. Women's sports could be exciting, glamorous, and profitable all at once, if you treat your stars right. And they didn't just treat Caitlin right, they celebrated her. Nelly Korda said, "It was like playing with a friend. She's relaxed, confident, and just really enjoying herself." Annika Sorenstam added, "She's super mature for 22, handles herself so well, and says the right things. She brought energy and fun to our event."
Last year, Clark played 9 holes with USA star golfer Nelly Korda and another 9 with Annika Sorenstam. Quote, "It was an honor to play in the Pro-Am with Caitlin last year. The crowds were amazing, and we are excited for her to return to the Annika in November," Sorenstam said in a statement. She added, "Such a great dynamic to our event, and her passion for golf and competitiveness were fun to witness firsthand. I look forward to having her back and continuing to introduce the great game of golf to the next generation."
For the LPGA, Caitlin wasn't an outsider. She was a gift, a reason to bring millions of new eyes to their sport. And the organization made sure she felt valued every step of the way.
Quote, "I had an amazing time at the Annika last November and participating in the Pro-Am along Nelly Korda and Annika Sorenstam, 2 of the best in the game," Clark said in a statement. "I'm honored to be an ambassador for a company in Gainbridge that is so committed to elevating women's sports. I can't wait to return to Tampa in November to play in the Pro-Am with the best women golfers in the world."
Meanwhile, back in the WNBA, the contrast couldn't be sharper. While the LPGA broadcast her Pro-Am nationally in prime time, the WNBA often hides her post-game pressers behind low-traffic clips. While the LPGA built an event around Caitlin Clark, the WNBA seems terrified of admitting how much she matters. Remember, this is the same player who increased WNBA attendance by over 300%, boosted national viewership by double digits, and became the league's top jersey seller, yet still earns just $78,000 a year. And instead of celebrating that, too many voices inside the league questioned the hype, downplayed her impact, or worse, targeted her physically on the court. While the WNBA worried about control, the LPGA embraced opportunity. LPGA executives built campaigns around her. They promoted her in every highlight reel. They let her be the headline. The commissioner even called her a once-in-a-generation crossover star who brings incredible energy wherever she goes. That's the difference. The LPGA saw what the WNBA still refuses to see. That Caitlin Clark isn't competition. She's transformation. And the results speak for themselves. The Pro-Am was a sellout. Fans drove from multiple states just to catch a glimpse of her practice swings. ESPN and Golf Channel covered her every move, and even the pros couldn't hide their admiration. Players like Lilia Vu, Andrea Lee, and Megan Kong all rushed to meet her after their rounds. It wasn't jealousy, it was celebration. That's what true support looks like. And outside the fairways, celebrities noticed too. Tiger Woods praised her impact. LeBron James called her special. Chris Evert said the WNBA should appreciate her for what she is, the best thing that's ever happened to women's basketball. Paige Spiranak went viral after tweeting, "The hate toward Caitlin Clark from some players is disappointing. Women can be vicious while preaching empowerment. The LPGA gets it. They're letting her shine." This is the turning point. While one league struggles with resentment, another has unlocked the formula for growth, respect, visibility, and value. Caitlin's appearance didn't just move tickets. It proved a larger truth. Audiences want to see women's sports succeed, but they respond to how those athletes are treated. The LPGA gave her cameras, prime coverage, and gratitude. The WNBA gave her bruises, backlash, and silence. That's not bitterness, that's reality. And the irony? Caitlin never asked for special treatment. She just keeps showing up, humble, calm, focused, and the world follows her anyway. Because fans don't fall in love with leagues, they fall in love with people. And that's what the LPGA understood instantly. As Caitlin stepped onto the Pelican fairways this November, surrounded by thousands of cheering fans, she didn't look like someone fighting for validation. She looked like someone who had already won. No drama, no controversy, just respect. It was the perfect visual metaphor. A basketball star outshining pros in a completely different sport, not because she demanded it, but because she earned it. The LPGA's red carpet treatment wasn't about politics or publicity. It was about understanding the moment. They knew Caitlin represented something bigger, the bridge between women's sports and mainstream culture. Every camera flash, every fan chant, every headline proved the same thing. People crave authenticity and excellence. Caitlin Clark has both. Analysts are already calling her LPGA crossover a marketing masterclass. A win for women's sports that the WNBA could have owned if it had embraced her sooner. And maybe that's the real revelation she exposed. Not the difference in pay, but the difference in respect. The LPGA didn't try to control Caitlin. They trusted her star power, and it worked. Meanwhile, the WNBA is still trying to manage it. And in doing so, they're losing her spotlight to another sport. So while the LPGA celebrates, basketball fans are left asking a painful question. What if the WNBA treated Caitlin Clark the same way? Because in one weekend, a golf tournament showed the world what real support looks like, and reminded everyone that respect will always drive the game forward. Caitlin Clark didn't call anyone out. She didn't demand headlines. She simply proved what happens when greatness is appreciated instead of controlled. And that's the biggest exposure of all. If you're still watching, drop Team Clark in the comments. Because no one changes the game like Caitlin Clark.